Welcome to Fly Eats Kitchen. I'm Jessica, your host, and today we are making some black truffle shrimp and lobster mac and cheese. I know you're gonna like exactly what you see in this recipe. So, in order to see more, make sure that you guys like, subscribe, share, comment below, and let's get into this amazing, so amazing mac and cheese. Okay, y'all, confession time. And you might have to revoke my black card. You might judge me, but I have never made mac and cheese before. I know. Yes, I've eaten mac and cheese before, obviously a lot of times, but I've never made it because it's intimidating and I get scared, and I've been scared to even do this recipe. But I'm like, you know what better time than now? The holidays are coming up and mac and cheese is always a staple in everyone's household, and especially in our Caribbean households, the Haitian household specifically, because I am Haitian. Mac and cheese is a big deal, okay? If you ask who made the mac and cheese, and it could be a bad thing or it could be a good thing. And I want to make sure that we all make sure we are the good reason why people chose the mac and cheese for that day. So now that we're past that part, we are going to talk about exactly what we're going to do. So like I said earlier, we are making lobster and shrimp black truffle mac and cheese. Just saying the title gets me excited. But then again, most food gets me excited. And even better, you guys, we're gonna make it in this cast iron skillet. I just bought one and I'm so excited. Okay, I'm gonna relax now. So what we need for this recipe, honestly guys, it's a simple recipe. We have some elbow macaroni, we have some beautiful lobster tails, some beautiful shrimp, and tons and tons and tons of cheese. This is a mountain of cheese, okay? We have sharp cheddar, smoked Gruyere, smoked Gouda, and some mozzarella. We're gonna put it all together so that this is nice and creamy and just, it's gonna be amazing. All right, so let's get started with making our shrimp. We're not making, but seasoning and cooking our shrimp and our lobster. All right, y'all, so let's start off with our lobster and our shrimp. I've cut them up in nice big chunks, and in this household, there is no seafood without some lime. And so you're gonna squeeze some lime juice all over our chunks of lobster and shrimp and just kind of mix it in a little bit. We're going to add about 2 teaspoons of garlic powder because, you know, garlic is life. And we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of some Cajun seasoning, some Creole seasoning to be specific. It's just gonna bring out those flavors and just kind of give a little kick into our mac and cheese. And also 2 teaspoons of some onion powder. I know it looks like a lot, maybe it is, but I'm telling you, it's gonna make everything combine together so great and just bring out the flavor of not only the seafood that we're putting in here, but just bringing in for the entire mac and cheese dish. So mix it all in, get your hands dirty, and then we're gonna get ready for our cheese sauce. Let's make our yummy cheese sauce. All right, so what we'll need is all of your cheeses, all of them. You're gonna need some whole milk, some half and half, some butter, probably lots of butter, more butter than you probably want to use, but we gotta use it to make it good. We're also going to have a little bit of flour, so let's go ahead and put everything together. In a medium large pan on medium heat, we've already melted our 1 cup of butter and added 2 teaspoons of our black truffle oil. You're going to add your flour and slowly whisk it in. I say slowly because flour can burn pretty quickly, so please don't get ahead of yourself. Just slowly mix it in and get all that fat incorporated into the flour. Next, you're going to slowly add in your half and half. I know those chunks can be a little like intimidating. You're like, what's going on? How's this gonna work? I promise it's going to come together wonderfully. Next, you're gonna add your whole milk. I actually added almond milk because that's what I have, and honestly, me and dairy have a serious issue at times, but we are adding tons of cheese, so I just felt better by just adding almond milk instead. So as you can see, it's kind of like a pasty consistency right now, and like I said, it's just your base
to really cause like that thickening factor for your sauce. So you're going to continue to whisk it in for a few minutes. Really use your wrist game. Try to get all those clumps out because you don't want any clumps for when we actually add in our cheese. It's going to be nice and smooth, almost like condensed milk. Once it gets to that, you're going to go ahead and add any spices. I've just added additional garlic powder. Mix that in completely, and next we're going to add our cheeses. First up is our sharp cheddar. Next we're going to add our smoked Gouda cheese. I love smoked Gouda so much. Next we're going to add our smoked Gruyere, and lastly add in our shredded mozzarella cheese. So I've actually bought the block of cheeses and shredded it myself minus the mozzarella, and it really does give a different taste to your mixture. I don't know, something about shredding it on your own really just kind of brings out the flavor a lot differently than just buying prepackaged. So I would suggest it, but if your grocery store sells any of these cheeses shredded and you want to just, save on some time, you can do that as well. So again, we're just keeping the heat on medium. You do not want to just rush this process, okay? Slowly mix in your cheeses, allow it to melt. I know it looks really thick right now, but it's going to loosen up. If you feel like it's still too thick, you can also add a little bit more half and half or a little bit more milk, whatever little liquid that you want to give it to kind of loosen it up. You don't need to really worry about adding additional salt because y'all, cheese has a lot of sodium in it, so don't go crazy. Continue mixing it together and leave it on low heat while we cook our lobster and shrimp.
We just got done with our cheese sauce, and now what we're going to do is go ahead and cook our lobster and our shrimp chunks that we've seasoned completely, and we're just gonna cook it really lightly, well, not so lightly, in butter and some black oil truffle, and then get ready to put it all together. So let's go ahead and get these babies cooked.
More butter, more truffle on a frying pan in medium-high heat, and you're going to add in your shrimp and your lobster chunks just to saute just for a few minutes. In the meantime, you're also going to start on your pasta in boiling water, add salt, oil, boil for just a couple minutes, continue to saute for a few more minutes, and then you're going to just take it off the heat because we're going to combine everything together so that we'll be ready to bake.
It is that time. Our cheese sauce is ready. And our pasta is boiled. Our shrimp and lobster are cooked. We have some extra cheese because you're going to see what we're going to do with that. But it's time to mix everything together before we place it into the cast iron. So let's go.
In your large mixing bowl, you're going to add your drained pasta, your cooked lobster and shrimp, and now the cheese. The cheese. Add in all of it, okay? Every drop. Do not let even a little bit stay in that pot. You're going to pour in your cheese and just mix it all together. Ooh, and I know y'all know that mac and cheese sound. So continue mixing, and then we're going to go ahead and pour it into our cast iron to bake.
We have mixed our mac and cheese together. I hope y'all got that good mac and cheese sound. We already know what that's supposed to sound like. Okay, let me get it together now. So it's time to go ahead and pour it in our cast iron skillet. Okay. Oh, this is kind of heavy. So let's do it this way. I'm just gonna take it all out. At this point, y'all, I don't know. I low-key just want to eat it like this without even putting it in the oven. But it's going to be so creamy and like, oh, just so yummy. All right, so you're going to put just a little bit at the bottom of the cast iron. And then you're going to have a little bit of cheese left over. Well, there's a lot of cheese left over. And just kind of sprinkle on top. That same cheese mix that you put to create your cheese sauce. And then you're going to put the rest of your mac and cheese on top. Oof. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of myself, and I'm not even done yet. Now let's just hope it all tastes really, really good. Okay. So we have all of that in there. Our sauce, you're just gonna kind of, spread it out in your pan so it's not just like a mountain of mac and cheese, which actually wouldn't be too bad, but we're gonna make this really, really beautiful. Gosh, look how good that looks, y'all. And it ain't even done yet. Okay, so of course we gotta add some more cheese. More cheese on top. Because when we bake it, you're gonna just bake it for about 30 minutes at 350. And then in the last like 2-3 minutes, you're gonna throw it on broil on high, okay? And that purpose is to just really cook our cheese and give you that beautiful color. Ooh, it's gonna be so nice. I also have some panko breadcrumbs, so I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle some on top as well. Just original panko breadcrumbs. I guess you could use some seasoned one, but honestly, this has so much flavor. You don't want to overpower it just with breadcrumbs, right? You got lobster, you got shrimp, you got black truffle. You don't want to mess it up with the breadcrumbs. So just original breadcrumbs just to kind of give it a little bit of a crunch. Ooh, this is going to be so good. So like I said, we're going to place this in the oven for 30 minutes. And then we'll be ready to go in. All right, y'all. So we are all finished making our wonderful lobster, black truffle, and shrimp mac and cheese. I'm so excited to get into this. But first, I have to give you guys a look. It's so amazing in this cast iron. And then we topped it off with some lobster tail, woo, and some extra shrimp. So you can really indulge. All right. So, of course, it's time to taste. Let's take, oh my gosh. It's so cheesy. Y'all hear that? Woo! Lost one. It's so good. That Gouda, Gruyere. What other cheeses we had? Because we have so many. The sharp cheddar, the mozzarella. You can taste every piece, and especially some of the lobster and the shrimp that's in here. I know you guys are going to love this recipe. So like I always tell you, make sure that you like, subscribe, share, comment below. Tell me what you think about this recipe and when you're going to make it yourself. And we'll catch you at another episode of Fly East Kitchen.